Hello everyone, the Kentucky Patriot here. We're out on the range today with the Mossberg 88 Maverick. And if you watch this channel, you watch the coffee chat we had with Buffalo from Buffalo's Outdoors and Scott from Kentucky Ballistics, you'll know this is what Buffalo from Buffalo Outdoors uses. Matter of fact, this is Buffalo's. He was nice enough to let me have it, take it out on the range today and try it out. And we're going to see how it does. Basically, the whole basis of this video is, if you caught the conversation, you realize what we were talking about, but you don't have to spend a whole lot of money to be well protected. And we're not trying to sell you a Mossberg. We're not trying to persuade you in any way. But if you're looking for home defense on a budget, this is what Buffalo uses. So we're going to try it out today. I've got some low brass, I've got some high brass, I've got some buckshot, I've got some 3-inch magnums, I've got some slugs. We're just going to put it through its paces. And I do want to say also, I told some of you that my next range video, you ought to ask about the 454 Casull and the reloads. I was going to bring those out and shoot today, but I'm going to try to get this back to Buffalo this weekend, so that's why I didn't bring the 454, and because it's getting late, and we'll try to get this video in today. But I have promised some of you that I was going to do that, so Lord willing, that'll be our next video. And I already told B&G, I think it was, that I'm going to shoot one of those 5-gallon buckets, so stay tuned. That'll be in the next video. But for today, again, thank you, Buffalo. Appreciate you, pal. Great guy. I know you know Buffalo from Buffalo Outdoors, but somehow, some chance you're watching this channel and you don't know who that is, make sure you check out Buffalo's Outdoors. I'll leave the description in the below. Wonderful fella, great guy. So we're going to get to shooting, try out the Mossberg Maverick. Now in today's video, this isn't going to be a penetration test. This isn't going to be a ballistics test. We're just checking out the Mossberg, seeing how it does, and we're using a wide variety, just a big range of shells. We're going to start out with a number 8 shot Winchester Super X extra light rounds. So I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get home, and also these 3-inch magnums, what I think about for home defense. But this is just putting the gun through the paces, seeing how she does, and we're going to try it out on some of these water jugs here. These things are starting to overpopulate, and they're really getting out of control, so we're trying to do some population control on these water jugs. Let's see if this Mossberg will help us out today. Seem to run them just fine. Now those Winchester extra light loads, number 8, it really peppered it good. It really, I mean, put little bird shot number 8 everywhere, torqued the ground good, just covered the milk jugs, but it didn't really do much to the milk jug. So let's try 2 3/4 Winchester 1-ounce slug, and let's see how the Mossberg runs it. And let's see if we have a little more action with the water jug here. Now we're going to try it. Now this is Fiocchi, different brand, 9-pellet buckshot. Let's see how she runs this. We'll switch it up a little bit. Now we've got the Remington low brass, couple rounds, 7.5 shot. Then in here we've got some Federal high brass, 2 3/4, 7.5 shot. So let's see how she does. This time we're going to try a Federal 3-inch rifled slug. Let's see how she does. We're going to try it again. This is also a 3-inch Winchester Super X number 6 shot. Let's see how she does. Like I said, when we get back to the house, I'll talk a little bit about the low brass and my opinion of the 3-inch for home defense. But just for now, I've got it loaded up with everything under the sun. I've got low brass, I've got high brass, I've got slugs, I've got birdshot, I've got buckshot, I've got different brands. So let's see how she likes it. And there's a tree there. It's already dead, so I like to shoot trees, so let's try her out on a tree and see how she does. Timber! And we're clear. Like I said, we're not selling Mossberg. We're not here to promote any company or talk about them either way. We're just trying to give an honest review of the Maverick 88 Mossberg. And you've seen the reliability today. And I'm not making excuses for this gun because anything mechanically can fail. But in all fairness to this gun, when I was shooting and that limb began to fail, I held up, and I don't think I got it into battery or something. It could have been the shell, because when I took it out and looked what shell it was one of the low brass Winchester, which it cycled and fired every other time just fine. So I think that was probably an operator error. You know, that probably was on me, because like I said, I held up and stopped, and I hollered timber and let it fall, and then I went to shooting again. So that very well could have been me, or it could have been the round, it could have been the gun. I don't know, but I'll certainly will take responsibility for that one. But we'll get back home. We appreciate you watching, and we'll talk about this gun a little bit more, and hopefully we'll be back out here for long, you guys, with a 454 Casull. I've got a few ideas up my sleeve. So like I said, sorry guys, I told you I was going to do something and didn't, but that's why. But I hope if I get out here real soon, we'll get back to the house and we'll finish this video up. May God bless you. Just real quick, we was getting ready to leave. We was cleaning up the range, and my wife said, look in that milk jug with the red lid. And when I did, this was what was peppered close up with that number 8 low brass. I mean, it didn't do a whole lot of damage as far as, you know, we didn't see a whole lot of water explosion, or we didn't see a whole lot of epic, you know, but that was still pretty neat. I mean, there's little shots in there everywhere, but that's pretty cool, pretty neat. So I told my wife, so just grab the camera real quick and we'll show them. Like I said, it wasn't a big boom, you know, it wasn't a 454, it wasn't a slug, but still a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys. We're back from the range. Again, we want to thank Buffalo for letting us use his shotgun. But real quick, I want to put in a plug for the Reloaders Network, and those of you that don't know about it or haven't heard me mention it or others mention it, what it is, Loads of Bacon, who used to be on YouTube, he has created this a website for shooters, reloaders, and some people has left YouTube completely and only creating content on the Reloaders Network now. But it's family friendly, but it's free of any basically censorship, where people's afraid to say reloading, or afraid to say shooting, or afraid they'll the gun channel will get strikes or get taken off YouTube because of content. So it's pro Second Amendment, and if you don't know who Loads of Bacon is, check him out. He's still got videos on YouTube, but he's the one that's running the Reloaders Network. And also, if you get a chance and you want to get some stuff, the Reloaders Network, it helps YouTube creators have a free place to move their channel and have a great group of guys. And it's also got some awesome merchandise that you can get. Not only you get cool merchandise, but it helps your support Loads of Bacon, the Reloading Network, and the gun community. And if you watch his channel, Loads of Bacon, the one that casted me all those bullets for the 454 Casull, he's just been such a godsend to the Second Amendment shooting, reloading community. So please check out the Reloaders Network. But again, thank you, Buffalo. Appreciate you, buddy. Just a couple quick comments, my personal thoughts. A shotgun is a great choice for home defense. Now, there's other great choices too, but if you choose to use a 12 gauge, basically what we wanted to do, it was make this video, because if you saw our channel in the video that we put up where I had a coffee chat with Scott from Kentucky Ballistics and Buffalo from Buffalo Outdoors, me and Scott and Buffalo sat down here, and they'd actually come over that evening. We had dinner, and they asked what we was going to talk about, what the video was going to be about, and we just laughed and had such a good time, such a good evening. I said, let's just basically do what we're doing. I said, we really had no format, we had no idea how it was going to go. We just had an enjoyable evening, so we just started filming. And that's basically what I want to do with my channel. That's what I told him. I just like to make it as real as I possibly can. You've heard me say, I don't mean to be redundant, but we're not a professional channel. We just enjoy the Second Amendment. We just enjoy the shooting community, and we try to bring information to you because there's many folks that have commented and sent us messages saying they can't get out and test and shoot like we do at a range. They don't have access to a range, or if they do live in town and have access to a shooting range, a public or a private range, whichever, sometimes they won't let them shoot like tannerite, or you can't shoot water jugs or meat targets. So we try to make it have as fun as we can and bring information to you, but I want to make it real as possible. So we don't edit videos. If a gun jams or if I have problems, I'll try to relay that and make it as honest as I possibly can. But what I really thought was neat was me and Buffalo and Scott was talking, and we began to talk about what rounds we carried, what guns we carried, and what calibers we carried. And it was neat. I didn't really realize at the time as much until afterwards I went back and watched it, that all of us carried a different gun, different manufacturer. Every one of us carried a different caliber, and every one of us carried a different round, a different ammo. So I thought it was really neat. So we looked up to those guys. But the point I'm trying to make is you got to do what's best for you, and don't let anybody tell you the choices you make isn't a bad choice. And you got to realize there's pros and cons to your decisions. You got to live with those consequences and understand the choices you make and the decisions you make. And you want what's best possibly for you. But just because somebody don't do what everybody else does, or just because you don't do what somebody else does, as long as you're keeping you and your family safe, that's what's important. And what I want to talk about is you don't necessarily spend a whole lot of money to be able to protect yourself and to keep your family safe. You know anything about Buffalo, you know what a well-rounded, he had a ton of experience. He's an excellent shooter. He's phenomenal. He's a wealth of gun knowledge. And this is what gun he chooses to defend his home with. And you can get on the internet right now and you can find these guns under $200. Under $200 brand new. So just because you're not paying a lot for a gun, and we've made the videos about the 410, if that's all you've got, you want to defend yourself, we've shown the PDX rounds was a good round. But really, if you can step it on up to a 12 gauge, and this Mossberg, and I'm not trying to be brand specific, but let's just face reality. I'm not saying this, just to have something to say. And Buffalo told me, he said, I want you to give me an honest review. You tell me what you like and don't like about it. But basically, if it says Mossberg, it's going to run for you. And that's what's important, is when in any gun you buy, you want to test it, you want to try it, you want to test the ammo you're going to use it and make sure it's reliable. But Mossberg's run. Now there's other guns, maybe especially in the handgun market, that you can get, and it's not that we're big feeling or we think, oh, this guy's not, because he's not in the clicks, he didn't have a certain brand or certain gun. It doesn't really matter the brand or gun that you choose, as long as you can shoot it well, as long as you're going to carry it with you, but mainly as long as it is reliable. Because if you save $100 on a gun and it's not reliable, you really don't have a good deal. You really didn't make a good choice, because when your life depends on it, if your gun starts to have jams or malfunctions, as we've said many times in many videos, anything that is man-made can malfunction. But if you buy a handgun round and you're getting one malfunction every 10,000 rounds, you could say that run's reliable. But if you're getting a malfunction one every magazine, or two every magazine, or one every other magazine, then that is not reliable. But Mossbergs, you don't have to take my word for it. Anybody's got a shotgun, they probably got a Mossberg somewhere, got access to a Mossberg. They just run. They just sure do. And there's others that do too. Benelli, Rim, there's all kinds of shotguns that'll run well for you. But this is, if you're on a budget, this is an excellent choice. It runs, it shoots. And what I wanted to make a real quick point too about the low brass birdshot number 8 that I was using, and also the 3-inch Magnum. This is my personal opinion. Now, I've told you that birdshot, we understand it's not as effective as buckshot, double-aught buck, or any of the buckshots, or a slug. But for home defense, I have made the statement that birdshot can be effective out of a 12 gauge. If you're talking like a high brass number 5 or number 4, 2 3/4, that can be effective for you. But now I do not recommend those low recoil Super X Target number 8 birdshot rounds. That's not the birdshot round that I would certainly recommend for home defense. I would want, like I said, the high brass number 5. But anyway, the same thing with the slug. If you you can watch the video and you can see that the 3-inch slug had more power and more force. But you begin to lose capacity when you shoot a 3-inch Magnum. And now I understand, people say, well, you get more range or whatever. But in your house, you don't need more range. And 2 3/4, I'm telling you, trust me on this. Or you can test it for yourself, or you can watch some other videos. a 1 ounce Foster slug going 1,600 feet a second is all the power and more that anybody ever needs. So you're not really gaining anything by the 3-inch Magnum for home defense for a slug. In my opinion, all you're getting is extra recoil, because you know the 2 3/4 slug is more than enough to protect you and your family. And I'm not telling you anything that I wouldn't do myself, or I wouldn't use myself, or I honestly wouldn't believe to protect me and my family. Now, let me say this about 3-inch in birdshot. It does make all the difference in the world. It is not hype. I can tell you from experience. My wife shot at a turkey one time using a 2 3/4 birdshot, and the turkey was moving. It flopped over and got up and ran. So that extra power, velocity, and range you get out of a 3-inch turkey load in birdshot makes a big difference in turkey hunting. But the same thing, if I was going to use birdshot, I would stay away from the 3-inch turkey loads. That's just me. If you want the extra power, that's up to you. But you lose capacity. I would rather have an extra round and go ahead and use the high brass, you know, 2 3/4. Like I said, number 5 high brass, I think will protect you and your family well. If you want to go ahead and bump it up to the 3-inch Magnum, that's up to you, but I don't think you're going to get a whole lot of benefit out of it for home defense as you would in the field with turkey loads. But certainly a slug, I would not, no way, sacrifice my round, an extra round in there to have a 3-inch slug, because 2 3/4 is all you're going to need. But this gun, it fed everything I put through it. And like I said, even though I know you're not going to probably use the number 8 super light Winchester target loads for home defense, I just wanted to run that gun to show you it'll basically run anything. It's very reliable, very accurate, and you know, I really enjoyed it today. So, and this again is what Buffalo's using. So this isn't some guy that's inexperienced or some guy that doesn't know what he's doing. Of all the shotguns he has, of all the knowledge he has, this is what he chooses to run. It's lightweight, it's maneuverable. You can you know, cut corners with it. You know, and it's lightweight, which means a lot. You know, that Mosin Nagant that I have, you know, it's very accurate, very high-powered round, but it's heavy, it's hard to maneuver. You know, a shotgun, it can be a great choice for you for you know, home defense. But you make up your choices, your mind, your decisions. You take all the facts that you get, your knowledge, your experience, and you choose for yourself. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money to be well protected and have a good quality firearm. This is Mossberg quality for under $200. So, you know, like I said, you know what, you don't go with a shotgun, you want to go with other options. There is other good options, but basically we made the 410 video not to be redundant, but we pretty much, to my opinion, proved that the PDX-1 rounds in a 410, you know, would be sufficient for home defense. However, most, you know, are one shot, or if you do have, like a Mossberg does make a 410 in a pump, but the recoil, believe it or not, on that little 410 is non-existent when you're shooting birdshot. But when you shoot those 3-inch PDX-1 rounds, there's quite a bit of felt recoil in a little light gun, and you're still not going to get the stopping power of a 2 3/4 slug. So, you know, my opinion is, if you got a 410, that's all you got. Use it till you can save up. But you can buy this Mossberg. There's other good options too, but very, very good shotgun, very reliable, easy to operate. And I will say this about Mossberg, they've just got a great name. Just you know, I've shot the Shockwave. I like it real well. My uncle's always been a big Mossberg fan, and I believe. He put this on there. Everything else is factory, but you can modify these. You can do so much with these. But again, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but I'm telling you, for the money, you and your family can be well protected. Good quality firearm right here. Easy to operate, easy to use. And again, we appreciate Buffalo. I'm going to try to get it back to him this weekend. Just such a great guy, great asset to the Second Amendment community, the shooting community. He's a wealth of knowledge, a great marksman. Appreciate you, Buffalo, and all you guys in the gun community. You all just met some of the most wonderful people. And I'm also going to put a picture in right here of Douglas McCullough. We got to know each other through YouTube, just like I met so many of you, and we got to be friends, and we got to messaging back and forth. I got rid of private messages on YouTube. We've been emailing for a long time, texting, and he actually was making a trip up through our state He lives several states away, and he was making a trip up through our state. So as he was coming up, we met him. Me and my wife met him and his wife. So I'm going to put this picture in here of me and Douglas at Cracker Barrel. So Douglas, it's so great to finally get to meet you in person. And many of you, if you're going to be able to make it to the NRA convention in Indianapolis, please let me know. I'd love to meet you in person. Love to get to say hi to you. I appreciate you all watching. When you guys comment, I've just met so many wonderful people through comments, and you guys have helped me, been such a blessing to me. And some of you give me great YouTube material, great content, and some of you give me great ideas, and I've used some of those ideas. Some of those ideas I've still got in the back of my mind I haven't used yet. But anything you want to see, I can't promise I'll be able to do everything. But any ideas you guys have, any questions you have, anything you want me to do or show or try to display or shoot, we'll certainly be glad to do that. But there's really a lot of great YouTubers out there, a lot of good advice. Buffalo's Outdoors, of course, Paul Harrell, you all know him. Scott from Kentucky Ballistics, Loads of Bacon, Thor Zach 777. There's just so many. I hate to start naming names because I forget somebody, but there's wonderful people out there with wealth of information. But you get out, you try your own firearm, you shoot, you realize the pros and cons, and you make the best choices for you and your family. Not what's popular, not what everybody deems is cool, not what fads come and go, and they do come and go in the gun world, just like they do with fashion or anything else. But you make the choices that best will suit and protect you and your family. And you get a chance, check out the Reloaded Network. Also, I've got a Facebook now, the Kentucky Patriot. Check me out on Facebook. Appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Leave a comment below. Please keep it family friendly. Thanks for all you guys do. Thanks for the comments. May God bless you. The Kentucky Patriot signing off.